true undisputed? Is this the true undisputed right here?
Look, we're gonna get it done, and you know what? There won't be any
no more dispute.
games or bullshit about what it is. So
why do you think Devin has been so much avoided? Why do you think he's been like one of the most avoided fighters like out there?
Look, he's a talented guy. No disrespect there. That's not my business. Maybe they can't get the right fight.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? You know, I told Aki on the phone a long time ago, maybe almost a year ago, that it seems that everyone that tries to avoid Devin Haney, they become cursed some kind of way, right? You had Lomachenko, who gave up his belt to avoid his mandatory Devin Haney, then he loses to Teofimo. You had Gary Russell Jr., who turned down a Devin Haney fight, then he ends up losing his next fight. You have Teofimo, who does all this capping, saying that he's going to fight against Devin Haney. All of a sudden, he thinks he's taking an easy cherry pick, takes on his mandatory, and he loses to his mandatory Kambosos. Then you had Jojo Diaz, who originally was not trying to fight Devin Haney. He originally, even though he fought Javier Fortuna to become the #1 mandatory for Devin Haney's belt, right after he beat Javier Fortuna, he negotiated with Ryan Garcia. And just when he thought he was going to get that easier, safer fight with Ryan Garcia, Ryan decides not to take the fight, forcing Jojo Diaz to take the Devin Haney fight. Now you have George Kambosos. George Kambosos, another fighter that promised that he would fight Devin Haney before he even beat Teofimo Lopez. Now he's doing everything he can do to stall negotiations and get out of the fight. George Kambosos has finally gotten every single thing that he wanted in negotiations, and he still won't sign a contract to fight Devin Haney for undisputed. He's stalling right now. This is what Devin Haney said on his Twitter account. He said, Team Kambosos has had an offer for quite some time. Why the cold feet all of a sudden? And guys, this just goes to show you, fighting for undisputed, it doesn't mean anything if you don't have to fight against the best competition. Because clearly, George Kambosos, he's going out of his way. He's doing everything he can do to avoid fighting for undisputed. But if he was in an easy division, like once again, if he was fighting Canelo type of opponents, George Kambosos would have took all the fights. If he had the Caleb Plants, the Caleb Smiths, and the BJ Saunders to fight, he would have took all of those fights. But because he has to go through Devin Haney, the boogeyman, all of a sudden, he's talking like this.
Do you feel like you got to go through Devin?
Nobody.
Do you feel like you got to go through Devin Haney to be undisputed? To truly become undisputed?
It's just another fight for me. Belts or no belts. The belts won't make me. So undisputed, unified, undisputed, no belts on the line. Street fight in the back. You know, I'm here to fight. I love to fight.
So you hear him, he keeps saying he doesn't care. Undisputed, not undisputed. That basically means he's not in a hurry to fight for undisputed if he has to fight against Devin Haney. That's exactly the point that he's making right there. It's also being reported that despite Lomachenko being in Ukraine, voluntarily fighting for his country right now, which that war can go on for 6 months or even a year, or even years, we don't know. Despite that, Kambosos has still reached out to Lomachenko, asking them, can they guarantee they're going to show up for a fight while he's in the middle of a war? You're going to reach out to this man in the middle of a war, a guy who just lost to the guy that you just beat and has no belt, when you have the undefeated WBC champion who's giving you everything that you asked for. This is getting ridiculous, guys. This is really getting ridiculous. George Kambosos has to understand, if he loses to Devin Haney, it's not the end of the world. You still have plenty other fights out there. You can still win other belts. It's not the end of the world. But this is the way George Kambosos is acting. He's acting like his career will be over if he loses to Devin Haney. There's actually less pressure on Kambosos to win this fight because he will go in this fight as the underdog. So all the pressure is on Devin Haney. It's not on George Kambosos. I mean, if you lose to Devin Haney, the Lomachenko fight will still be available. The Ryan Garcia fight will still be available down the line. And whoever else you want to cherry pick or you think is an easier fight, obviously a Lomachenko fight is not a cherry pick. But if we're looking at things in the structure of a tournament, then it is a cherry pick because once again, you're trying to play against a team that just lost in the playoffs, as opposed to playing against a team that just advanced in the playoffs. So we'll see how this plays out. Right now, there's no doubt about it. George Kambosos is dealing with the Devin Haney curse. He's trying his best to find a way out of this fight, but all roads keep leading him back to Devin Haney. Let's see if he can find a way out of this situation. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodkey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at Scalp Carolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP, and I saw some pictures of some guys, a before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention, so I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, Scalp Carolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, Scalp Carolinas, to get this done.